All right, here we go. All right, hello everyone. Welcome to another edition of the GetGrowing live weekly work session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley. We are joined by Colin, Kim, and Jessica today. Say hello, guys.
Hey guys.
Hi. You guys in the comments, why don't you come and give some love if you know who these folks are, if they have been helping you out. Let us know how much you love them, because they work hard for you, and we certainly do hear a whole lot from you guys about how happy you are with how that goes. So hey, welcome. If this is your first time being here, welcome. You know, we do this every single week, and the point of this is to actually help you with your Young Living business, whether you're a GetOiling member or not. So if you came here with questions today, if you need help, if you need support today, we're here for that purpose. Go ahead and start putting those questions in the Q&A box and send us some love over in the chat. Just want to go ahead and point out before we get started here, we are a festive bunch today. Jess, say hello. It's almost the 4th of July.
Yes, and it's my favorite holiday above all other holidays, so I am super excited, obviously.
I love it. It's a cute top. And Colin is over here representing Canada.
Yeah, and I also agree. Canada is actually very well known in my community of friends as my favorite holiday too, mostly because of the excessive fun partying and the lack of fireworks that we didn't get to have last night because of what's going on with COVID. So I hope you guys get some fireworks because we didn't get any.
Well, I don't know. If you're in a big city across America, you may have been getting fireworks shows or at least hearing them for the last few weeks. I know that I do here in Brooklyn, New York. It's a regular occurrence. Lately, it's a thing. Anyway, Kim, you've got you got a mug, right?
I do. I have a mug. This is to commemorate the fact that we couldn't go to Utah this year. We went on a road trip for 2 weeks from Fargo, North Dakota to Palm Springs, California. And everywhere we stopped, in every state, I got a mug.
That is so cool.
We did stop in Salt Lake. So just for a quick bite to eat. And this.
Nice. nice. Yes, happy Canada Day. We've got Tennessee. We've got hellos from all over. Awesome. So just a quick agenda, you guys. I've got slides to go through. We're going to be training on campaigns today, and then we're going to get into some Q&A and demos. We will do some show and tell after we go through the initial slides. If you watch this as a recording, understand that the bulk of the training is going to be really just in like the first 20 minutes or so, 20, 30 minutes. So awesome. All right, let's get over to some slides. I'm going to go ahead and turn my video off. If you guys can do the same, we're going to get into some slide sharing here. If it'll let me do it. All right, perfect. Can we see it? All right, perfect. So here we go, you guys. We're going to talk about campaigns today. So if you've got questions, like I mentioned before, if you came here looking for help, whether it's related to campaigns or not, please go ahead and add those questions to the Q&A, and we will get to you and work with you at the close of this call. So I want to ask you guys a question. I'm going to see if anybody here has ever felt like this. Have you ever worked all day, or at least for, a nice long extended stretch of time, and then wondered at the end of all that time you just spent whether you actually got anything done? Like, have you done that? Show of hands. Who here has just you feel like you worked and worked and worked and worked and worked, and what did I even just do? Right? This is a really common problem, because most of us, and what I'm talking about right now is Young Living distributors, you guys. What most of us do is spend over 70% of our working hours. Now, I know you exceptions who are probably very red or maybe green also are going to tell me that's not true in the comments. Most of us, though, spend over 70% of our working hours on activities that don't actually help to grow your business. Who here knows what an IPA is? Quick show of hands. You know what an IPA is? An income producing activity. So there's a little bit of confusion, I think, or, well-intentioned misinformation about what an IPA actually is. And we actually have a lot of training that goes into this. There's a difference between an activity that produces income and an activity that sustains income, right? So the biggest culprit of this time hog that kills our productivity is communications, right? This is email and texting and DMing and chasing people down and you know, trying to post and engage in Facebook groups. Like, communication is at the core of our time suck, right? It's absolutely something that can take up all of our time. And at the end of the day, what have we been doing, right? We kind of feel like we're chasing our tail then. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what non-IPA communication looks like, meaning that uppercase P, because we do have a distinction here with the uppercase P being producing, right? And the others are preserving, lowercase p. So non-IPA producing, income producing activity and communications include member education, member outreach, member communication, and member engagement. The common thread here being these are people who are already in your business, right? So these are activities that are valuable, right? These are very valuable activities, but they're income preserving activities. And we all know in this business, or if you don't know yet, if we are only working to preserve what we have in our business and not to produce and grow more, we're going to stall. So if you're stuck at a rank or you're stalled on the runway just trying to take off in the first place, it's time to consider a new approach to how you spend your time in your business. And guys, this is the reason why the digital upline coach was developed in GetOiling. I don't know if you're using that or not yet, but if you're at basic and above, that's what that thing is designed to do, is to recommend, according to the value of activity, a span of activities that you can perform in your business, that if you do them, the highest value ones, and you hit the 100% mark or beyond for your coaching activities for the week, that you should also be seeing the numbers grow and your income grow with your business, right? Highly recommend you go play around with that, check it out. Start it off at like the 5 hours a week commitment and just get yourself a win, right? Go through and log those activities, do the work of logging that, and you will see that there's a difference. So consider a new approach. And we're just going to start with communication today. So I want to talk about a cornerstone of your GetOiling system that's going to cut your busy time in half, because that's what that time is. When we spend all this crazy amount of time and just wondering what on earth we did at the close of it, right? That's your busy time. We're going to cut that in half and have focused time, and have time to focus because we bought our time back, right? To open up more time for those actual producing, productive activities. And of course, you can also spend that time on whatever else you'd like to do, right? Because the fact is, we spend most of our time in that busy state and not in a focused state and not in a leveraged state where our business is concerned with systems and automations. And guys, once you actually do the work to get this stuff into place, you'll see how much free time you actually have to go do more productive work or go hang out with your family, whatever it is that you prefer to do. So let's talk about campaigns. First, what are they? If you're brand new, and actually, hey, quick show of hands, who's new here? Who has just recently gotten started? Wow, hi, that's a lot of you. Really, really glad that you're here. So let's talk about what campaigns are. So if you think about what a campaign is from a military perspective, from a political perspective, or even from an advertising perspective, a campaign is a specific set of motions, where we're not talking about marketing, or actions that have a goal in mind, right? So with what we're doing with campaigns, these are a series of messages that have a specific goal. And that specific goal can be to educate. It could be to sell, right? It could be to inform. It could be to engage. But these are things that happen for you on autopilot. So they're set up to release at intervals. So let's just say you have got a campaign that you apply to your brand new member from inside of your GetOiling system. That campaign, which is already written for you, by the way, if you didn't know this, you don't have to do any work except to plug this up to your people, which we'll show you in just a bit. That campaign is going to drip out over a series of, I think, about 11 days, right? So basically when their kit is on the way, they're going to get dripped a little bit of information about what's coming their way, why they should be excited, and all this kind of stuff. And it does it for you, all right? So that these campaigns are set up to release at intervals over time, and they go out automatically via email or text, or in some cases both, depending on your preference. So they do all of these things for you on autopilot. And the fact is, guys, you don't have to write them. either. We actually have inside of our system campaigns that are already made. If tech scares you, if you're here and tech is scary, then understand that you can use what we've already made for you and just make it very simple for yourself until you get more comfortable with using the system so that you can actually build out your own things if you want to, or edit what we've given you. So I want to talk a little bit first if you want to create your own campaign. So if you are welcoming someone who is new in your coaching program, if you have a coaching program, if you are dripping out information on people who are curious because they went to a class that you held online now, of course, but maybe you held an online class or a social media class and you want to drip out information about the stuff that you covered and open up that opportunity for someone to come to you and talk more about next steps, right? So to create your own campaign, what you want to first do is to determine the desired outcome and make it specific. So I just gave you 2 examples. Those are very specific. Someone went to a class and I want them to get on the phone with me, or I want them to set up a one-on-one with me so that we can talk about options for them, right? That's an example. It has to be very specific. You don't just create a campaign because education, because that's not specific enough and nobody is going to want to read it anyway if it's just, hey, look, this is education, right? It has to fill a certain need for them and for you, importantly, because the whole point of doing any of this is to replace yourself, right? What you would be doing over and over and over again with lots of different people, which takes up a whole lot of time. What you're basically just trying to do is to condense your voice in those conversations into a set of messages that the system sends out on your behalf over a set period of time, thus allowing a lot of people to hear from you and then come to you and respond, because the campaign does that for you. And now you spend your time on those IPAs actually having conversations with people because the campaign engaged them to come to you and have a conversation. Does that make sense? Do you guys follow that? Quick show of hands. Does that, you got that, right? Perfect. All right. So here's what you do next. So after you've determined the outcome that you want, your very specific outcome, you're going to outline what information needs to be shared in what order. And don't overthink this, you guys. Just think about this like, okay, I just did a class on babies and oils, and I want someone to get on a call with me. So what information do I need to share? What questions do I need to ask? What would I have done in a conversation with someone if I was prospecting or following up or whatever? What are the things I would have said anyway that I can put in order and have a campaign say for me? All right, so determine what that is. And I say outline here. I don't mean think about it. I mean literally write an outline. Write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Make sure that you're getting everything there, and do this on a word processor. And type when you actually want to, you want to have your messages, you want to write what you're going to say, write it in a word processor first. Do not try to combine your learning of technology on the GetOiling platform with your other side of the brain creation of something creative that maybe you haven't done before. All right. Work with something familiar first, which is a word processor. You can just type it out. There's no tech involved. Anybody can do that. And then you're going to come over and plug that information into the GetOiling system so you aren't short-circuiting your brain trying to engage 2 sides at once and ultimately frustrating yourself. All right, save yourself that, write it in a word processor. Then keep the messages short and to the point. Again, think about this as a conversational thing that is really just a robot you reaching out, asking questions, sharing information in exactly the same way you would if you were going to DM or text or send a quick email to someone. Be abundantly clear as well, importantly, on your calls to action. Remember, we create this campaign to get a specific outcome, right? We want them to take a specific action. So you need to make sure that your language is abundantly clear on what you want them to do next. Hit reply now. Here's my number, call me tomorrow, right? Or call me back right now. Or click this link and buy this thing, right? Be very specific about what you want them to do. Do not think that you are being bossy or rude by telling someone what to do. They signed up for this campaign and decided that they wanted to hear from you because they want something that you can show them. So of course they're ready to listen and be told what to do. So don't worry about telling them what to do or being that clear. And then just make sure that you are super, super, super clear. That call to action means, what do you want them to do next? Be clear. All right. Here's some best practices for campaigns. First, write like you are speaking one-on-one with your best friend. Again, if you'd say it in a DM, it works here. If you'd say it in an email or a text to your best friend, it works here. Don't try to overthink this. Write like you talk. Say it out loud, then write it down. That's the best thing you can do. This is not a college course. This is casual. These are, these are friends you're talking to, or people who you would want to become that, right? So you also want to make sure that you're asking questions and expecting responses, right? So ask questions because you want them to hit reply and engage with you. You want them to text back if you're using text marketing for this, right? And expect responses by giving a call to action. Hey, let me know, ask a direct question, expect them to respond. Or hey, hit reply and tell me X, Y, or Z, okay? Keep it short and sweet as well. Respect their time. Most people are not really just in their inbox because they want to read a whole lot. There are exceptions. If you are a storyteller and people like to hear or read the stories you write, long form content can work really well in a campaign, but you don't have to do it that way. It's usually best kept conversational, short and sweet. It feels like you are talking just directly to one person, but this is a message that could be going out to 10,000 people at the same time, all right? And then of course, have that clear and obvious call to action. All right, so to create your campaign, now we've got it written, we know what it is. To create this campaign in GetOiling, you're gonna go under the contact settings menu and go to campaigns, okay? Then you're going to just copy and paste the stuff that you already wrote out in your word processor, all right? And then format it, of course, to your liking. It's definitely good to space things out. Having like a big chunky visual block of text is not easy on the eyes. Write it out like you would want to read it with some visual flow, okay? It feels comfortable, kind of puts, enter a couple times between phrases, add bold or italics or whatever. So format your messages to your liking, and then you're going to assign intervals to those messages. So you create your campaign, then you're able to start adding messages to your campaign. And then once you've created those messages, you can decide, okay, I want them to get this message immediately when they get the campaign. And then I want to maybe skip a day in between, or maybe I want to send out an email one a day, every day for 7 days. Whatever that looks like for you, you assign those intervals there. All right, so you can then set these campaigns up to deliver as text, as email, or both. Now, if you're gonna use text, highly recommend that you get the two-way texting add-on with GetOiling. This is a $9 a month add-on. It gives you your own business phone number that people can call or text. And you also have the ability to chat back and forth directly. So if someone responds, you can actually just through your GetOiling dashboard, chat back and forth with them and move them toward that next step. So this is going to be under the campaign settings. So this campaign you just created, you're going to choose the delivery method there. You can choose text, email, or both there. And if you are using a text-in campaign, if you want this campaign to be delivered via text, then you add the text-in keyword there. So if you want this to be, from your baby's class, I'm going to send you a couple of cool images and share some additional information with you over the next few days. Text babies to this number. And then of course, when they do that, they start receiving that campaign via text. All right, so let's talk about some campaign hacks. Make this stuff quick and easy for you and, and just basically keep you from having to reinvent the wheel if you're not in the mood for it. So first, you can copy an existing campaign and GetOiling. There's a little 2-sheet icon that you can just click that and it will create a copy of a campaign that we already have written for you. And guys, we have campaigns that are compliant across the world, okay? Everything is in English at this point, but this is actually a great opportunity. If you want to deliver the same information in another language, you can actually copy and translate, right? And have it delivered that way using a campaign that's already inside of GetOiling. You could also edit the messages to your liking. If you don't like the way something sounds and you want it to sound more like you can do that. If you want to add in your own personal story into something, you can do that. So this is where you can actually just kind of shortcut based off of what we've already done. And then of course you can edit those settings and it'll deliver via email or text or both, up to you. And then of course you save and then use that new campaign. Now there's another campaign hack, and this is a really cool one. We have experts who can do the work for you, and some of you already know about this, a lot of you, I think. We have content partners. There are Young Living focused content providing businesses that we've partnered up with whose content loads directly into your GetOiling system. And if you want to know who that is, you can head over to the GetOiling.com homepage and scroll down to our content partners section. You'll see who we're working with right now, and every one of them has a text campaign, at least one. The Go for Gold has some text campaigns, that's a whole other thing, but like a content provider for regular content, we have got, I think 3 right now. There will be more coming in the future, and they are all amazing. And with a click of a link and a button, you can have their pre-written text or email campaigns, or both, or newsletters imported directly into your GetOiling system, saving you a ton of time and making your life easier. All right, so you've got your campaign, whether you've created it, you're using one of ours, or you've edited one of ours, or you've gotten one from one of our amazing content partners. What do you do now? First, you can test your campaign. You can also take that campaign and connect it to a landing page, which makes it a funnel, right? A funnel is basically you offering something interesting to someone in exchange for their information so that you can market to them, which is what the campaign does, right? So you connect it to a landing page, and so when they enter their name and email, they now automatically start to receive those messages. Another option is to share the text in code if it is a text campaign. So again, text babies to my GetOiling phone number, and now they're going to receive those images, that text, that information over that period of time that you specified. All right, so let's talk about how you can test your campaign. First, you want to make sure that you have yourself added as a contact in GetOiling. So your email address that you want to test with, add yourself as a contact in your GetOiling system, and then apply that campaign to your contact. And if you're on that contact card, there actually is a section where it says campaigns, and you can click a button there and pick a campaign that you want to add manually to this contact, right? So you can just test it that way if you want to. It's quite easy. Or you can opt in on its attached landing page. So if you have connected your campaign to a landing page, you can enter your name and email on the landing page, and then you'll start to receive the campaign. Or you can text the campaign code to your GetOiling phone number from your device. Okay, so these are the ways that you can test. If you want to see it first, if you want to see all of it first, this is what you can do. All right, so how do you know if your campaign actually delivered? How do you know if it was sent to someone? First, you want to go to your contacts menu to messages and look for the sent messages, okay? And then you can also check on an individual contact card, and it's all the way down on the right if you're on a desktop, and then basically just all the way down if you are on a mobile device. Check an individual contact card to see if it was delivered or open. So maybe it was someone that you know went to the babies class. You want to make sure that they're getting those emails or getting those texts. Go to their contact in your system and look to see what was delivered. And you can't just see, it's not just seeing whether or not they got a message. You can actually see whether they opened it or whether they clicked a link, which is pretty cool, right? I mean, how cool is it to know that you can measure your effectiveness in the messages that you're sending by going over and actually seeing if someone not only got the message, but that they opened it and that they engaged with it. That's pretty powerful. So a little bit of advice, right? So I know a lot of us here today are brand new, okay? And even if you're not brand new, this is something that maybe you've been trying to figure out for a while, right? So understand that nobody is an expert at this out of the gate. You're gonna make mistakes. It's really okay. Remember, everything that you're doing is really in service of establishing relationships with people. And that means that we're being human, right? And the people we're communicating with are human. So nobody is an expert at this. You're gonna make mistakes, and it's okay, right? Implement these steps. Follow these things that we've done today. You can choose to have a campaign, just test a campaign that's one of ours, like one that's already written for you. Or if you want to challenge yourself, write your own and upload it, right? Test it out. Implement something today so that you get more comfortable with using this system, because you're only going to get better by doing. Results will only improve with action, okay? And remember, this is a feature that is really worth getting familiar with, especially when you start to consider the kind of content and the volume of content that our content providers give you. this is something that you can leverage if you get comfortable with this feature to plug in third-party teaching tools and absolutely remove yourself from the young living professor role of your business, which is not income producing, right? and put you in a position to really lead by example and grow your business. All right, so going to talk about some frequently asked questions. So if you've already asked these, do take note. We are going to go through questions here in just a bit that you've submitted here on this session. But first, the default campaign. This is a question that comes up often. If you apply a landing page to a GetOiling themed homepage, that's actually something under My Site settings. This is not under the contact settings menu. The default campaign is the GetOiling new prospects campaign. So what this basically means is we have a campaign that's pre-written for you that's really nice, actually, and inspires engagement. And you don't have to do anything to it. It's already ready to work for you and compliant in multiple markets. That is going to go out if somebody just opts into a landing page on your site. It provides them with a guide about wellness, and then it asks them what their wellness goals are and stuff like that. It's already done for you. That's for new prospects, just a heads up. Now, the new member campaign, which is also pre-made for you, that's already ready to go and ready for you to use with your new members inside of GetOiling, it builds excitement for the kit, all right? So it spreads out over 11-ish days, like I mentioned before. It's going to build excitement for your new member and get them ready to use their oils once they get them, and to be very excited and to know that sharing is a good thing, right? You can also remove people from campaigns. This is a pretty simple thing to do. If you go to their contact card, or you just go to the contact manager, period, there's always an actions link. It's up at the top, right? So you have like a search bar and you've got these different options. There's an actions link there. And so from actions, you can choose to remove from a single contact or a group of contacts a specific campaign. You could also apply a campaign in the same way in bulk or one-on-one, for one contact at a time, or remove them, right? You can't unsend the messages that have been sent, but you can remove the campaign from your contact. And there, guys, there's a lot more in-depth training on campaigns on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/GetOiling. A lot of the stuff that you can do with this, which, gosh, this is like kind of scratching the surface. This is 101, basically. There's a lot more that you can do, and there's a lot more that this YouTube channel here will teach you, youtube.com/GetOiling. So let's move on to demo and Q&A and answering your questions and showing you stuff. Let me turn off my share here. And we can come back to video, you guys. All right, let's talk about questions. Okay, so starting out, got a question about how Grow Workspace bundles work with GetOiling. So Grow Workspace, you guys, if you don't know about them, go to GetOiling.com, scroll down to the content partners section. Grow Workspace creates amazing, beautiful content that teaches products and lots of other stuff. And they don't just teach products, like it's a lot. So go check them out, they're great. But the way it works is inside, if you're a member of Grow Workspace, they have a bundle sharing link inside of your bundle, a specific bundle. So let's just say there's one about babies and oils. You grab that GetOiling link inside that bundle page inside of Grow Workspace. And when you click that link, it's going to take you over to GetOiling, and it's going to give you a checkbox and a button to click. And if you're signed in, it's going to immediately import those campaigns, and in some cases saved replies, into your GetOiling account. So now if you want to send out the text class for babies, you have ready to go, text babies to my number, and you get the Grow Workspace campaign. So that's how that works. And this also works with, we've got other content providers as well. We have YL Customer Delight, they're incredible. And we have Modern Companion as well. And her texts are really cool because they actually create engagement in a way that, that I don't really see a lot of other people doing. So if you really want to kind of pour your heart into your texts, but you don't really know what to say, Jen is a really great content provider to get that content from. All right. So let's see. All right, Emily says, how do I stop the automatic campaigns that are set up initially in GetOiling? So stopping them, I guess this depends, Emily. If you already have if you already have a campaign active, you can do what I mentioned before, removing someone or multiple someones from a campaign, or you can just choose to not use the default campaign. You have that choice, right? So you don't have to use any specific campaign, but if you have landing pages set up, what I would recommend that you do wherever they are is just go to the settings for each of those landing pages and determine what if any campaign is attached to them. And if you don't want to have the built-in campaign, then choose no campaign, or choose a campaign, you know, a different one from yourself or a content provider. All right. I guess maybe we can do some screen sharing. Would anybody like to get in a demo account and do some screen sharing? Got any volunteers, team? No? Jess, are you volunteering? Let's do it.
Sure, I can try. Let me
All right.
go over to one of our, let me set that up real quick.
Cool. All right, so Mary asks, how do I put a link to my members vault in an email response or campaign? Similar to the button that is included in the automated reply, but I would like to include it in a welcome email. So when you are in your member area, Mary, you can actually, or when you're in your member area settings, you do have a button that says view member area, right? So go to your member area, click that button so that you are looking at it like a visitor. And then find the vault in there that you want to link to, click that button, and it's going to open your vault page. Grab that link. That's the link. And what's going to happen is that if someone has, if it's available to anyone in your member area, which is a vault setting, then they're going to be able to just get in and see it after they, get their login worked out, right? But if it is something that's supposed to be only for members, there's going to be a little bit of a gate there, right? So let's just say, for instance, you have a vault that is, only for certain people and you don't want just anybody in there. There may be, it may be that you need to have a landing page that adds them to the vault directly, up to you. Or you could also apply the vault or add the people that you want to be in the vault to the vault. And then when you send them the link, they'll be able to access it. All right, Amy says, hello, I want to get GetOiling, but was recommended to get a domain name first and then GetOiling. Okay, so you don't have to have a domain name to use the GetOiling system. When you get started, it's getoiling.com/whatever name you choose, your name, your business, and it's ready to go out of the gate, and we have plans as low as $7 US per month. So you can choose at a later date if you want to have your own custom domain, yourname.com, yourbusinessname.com, but that's not something that you have to have, and you definitely don't have to go purchase it elsewhere first. That's something that we can actually work with you to do when you're ready to do that. So highly recommend you just get started with us, because if you want a place, like you mentioned here, to have a website or a link where people can use to, to purchase or become team members, this is really what you want to have. And even starting at the $7 a month level is going to get you that. And you don't have to have, a domain from GoDaddy to do that. All right, Holly says, so excited to learn about campaigns today. I've tried to find my answer in the help box, but can't for the life of me figure out how to actually let people get a campaign. I would like to put a menu of links to my newsletter with various classes for people to opt into. Can I do that? Is there a link associated with each campaign? All right, this is a really good question, Holly. So what you're gonna do is one of two things. If these are text campaigns, then maybe you create a nice little image in Canva or something else that says, learn about this, text babies to this number, right? And then that's just something that you have out there and people know that's how they can access that information. In terms of links to get onto campaigns, if you want them to get onto an email campaign, what you wanna do is connect it to a landing page, right? So you can do that under the landing pages. link under the contacts menu, or you can create a custom page that has a pop-up, and that could even be on a custom homepage for your site. But it sounds like you want to be able to offer multiple automated campaign classes. So what I'd recommend that you do is, and this is something you can actually do inside of your member area if this is for member education. Highly recommend that you do it this way, so that your GetOiling site can be something you use for prospecting and for growing, as opposed to just only being a thing that's there to educate. So in your member area on your site, or just on a custom page if you like, use images or links that go to landing pages, where that, you get to the landing page and it says, okay, put your name and email here and you're going to get this babies class via email. And then you would take the link to that landing page. And of course you connect your babies campaign to that landing page. And then that person's going to receive that class. So, so yeah, like a menu of links would need to be a menu of links to landing pages. All right, is this through two-way text, the scheduled campaign? No. Jen, the campaign is through campaigns. Campaigns actually use marketing credits. Two-way texting does not. Two-way texting is just like, it's like DMing back and forth. It's just through our platform to their phone and back and forth that way. And those are unlimited for your plan. All right, and if you have the add-on. All right, Holly says, I also have another question. Is there a feature inside of GetOiling to create a questionnaire, like Woohoo or Google Forms, that I can also redirect to another source like Calendly? Yes, you do this on custom pages, Holly. On custom pages, when you, there's a landing page settings button. On landing page settings, you're actually going to be able to add additional fields. So if you have like, let's just say, I don't know, the stuff that's already there is name, email, phone, right? But if you wanted to ask maybe 3 or 4, I think it's up to 9 different fields that you could put onto one of these forms on a landing page, or in custom pages, the landing form. You can do it that way. I don't necessarily recommend doing it that way though. If what you're trying to do is, is do something more thorough, like a thorough questionnaire, I would recommend you use, a free Typeform account or Survey Gizmo or SurveyMonkey. It just kind of depends on the degree of specificity and granularity you're looking for. You can get that information from the custom page pop-up into their contact card. And that information is going to come to you via email as a notification that, hey, I've just gotten a new lead and here's the stuff on the form. So you can do it that way. And then in terms of redirecting to Calendly, this is something I personally do using my account, booking, coaching calls and prospect calls and stuff like that. I will embed. Actually, if you're at premium, you have the code editing access. You can actually embed the Calendly booking form on a page in your system. So they don't even have to go off to another site to use that. All right. Jess, do you have your sharing set up? Cool. Can we, let's show, if you want to share, and actually, you know what, I think I need to make you a co-host so you can share. All right, perfect.
Okay. Sorry, that's my dog wanting to go outside. Sorry about that.
Oh.
You hear that beeping.
Cute.
Perfect timing. I'm just gonna let him out really quick.
It's
I am
okay.
so sorry.
Yeah, it's totally cool. We are all dog people here. Or I don't know, Colin, do you guys have a dog?
We did just before we had the baby, but we had to, unfortunately, she didn't really take too kindly to the baby. So she was an old girl anyways, so we gave her away, and well, we did. But I miss having a dog. I'm not gonna lie, man. I really miss it.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing. I'm sorry you guys had to deal with that, but you do have a really sweet little baby now.
I know, she's pretty amazing. Of course, a dad would say that.
Yeah, of course, and for good reason. All right, guys, if you have questions over here in the chat, please make sure they're coming to the Q&A box so we don't miss you. And if you look through the Q&A, you can see whether or not yours came through. All right, so really quickly, just want to show you, because we talked about campaigns, where to find them. So over here under contacts, the contacts menu, it's on the top left. you go to settings, and then campaigns are right there. And you can actually see if you scroll through, and we have a lot of them here, but you'll see some in your own account that are already there for you. If you just click one, let's just say maybe just the new prospects, just maybe the copy of new prospects will be fine. I don't know if that's been edited actually. Maybe let's go to the end and find just the new prospects campaign.
And that's what I do want to point out though, real quick, that like the created by, so ones that say GetOiling are ours, and then ones that are me are we've created those, or not us, but like you, whoever's account you are in.
Yes, exactly. And if you want to copy one of ours, there's that little link right there with the 2 sheets. When you do that, you can rename it, and that is now your campaign. It'll say me on the right-hand side. All right, so let's do new prospects. So what you see is not actually going to look exactly as it will in the email, but it's pretty close. So, I mean, you don't have to test your campaign out on yourself, but if you want to, you now know how. Let's just maybe click on one of these, and we'll just show you what this looks like. There you go. You've got the subject line, you've got the body line. You see how quick and just to the point this is? Now, one thing, and this is something I don't think I touched on at all, these do send via text. And typically what'll happen, because this is obviously way too big to deliver in just a text message, when you have something, a longer email that you send via text, it's going to give them just a little snippet and then a link to read more, right? And then it'll take them off to a page that GetOiling generates where they can actually just read it in a browser. Just a heads up for that. All right, cool. All right, Debbie asks, who do I send an email to if I want to have you check my current texting phone number availability for 2-way texting and GetOiling? I really want to switch over. So Debbie, send us an email. That is support@getoiling.com. We have the ability to port a lot of numbers. It's not 100% of the time, but if you have a text marketing provider right now, it's a pretty good chance that's a number we could port. We are also functional for text marketing in over 200 countries. So, there's definitely a chance that we can help you out where that's concerned. So just shoot us an email, support@getoiling.com. All right, Camille asks, I sent a text campaign this morning. Is there a way to get a report of the results? I looked into each contact's past actions and found 2 that had errors, just an error code. Now, when I look again, I can't see the error code anymore. It's cut off. I opted both contacts out of text. How can I more easily find out if there are errors or opens on text campaigns? I don't know. You guys, have you ever seen an error code on a text campaign before? You want to maybe chime in, let us know, like, 'cause I don't know about this.
Sure, I just had this come up today, and I don't think it was yours, Camille, or somebody else's, but sometimes we'll get error codes, and we can sometimes check on what that error code was. So for example, today was just one that was unknown error, so that doesn't really help us out much. But usually that means that the GetOiling system was able to send it out, but that person's mobile provider is for some reason not letting it be delivered. So it's not letting it actually come to their phone. One way to check to see if it's actually a spam issue is to, if you sent a text message with a picture attached, try sending a text message without a picture. And if it does go through, then the picture is being reported as spam by your mobile provider. There's not much that we can do about it, but at least it means that you can send texts without pictures. If it is not going through at all, even without a picture, then it's just a straight mobile carrier that's not allowing that to be delivered. So unfortunately, it's not something that GetOiling can control, but there's a couple things to troubleshoot, at least to try to get just a text message to go through.
Awesome.
Anyone else have any? I guess that's what I know about the errors, but
so that's
the only one.
Jess, if you could go over to the dashboard. Thank you, Kim. If you could go over to the dashboard, the other part of your question, Camille, is about where you can like see the results. So there's a couple of ways that you can see things that are happening. You'll see system activity here. You can see the active contacts below that. But over here, if we go to under contacts to messages, if we click on that messages button right there, you're actually going to be able to see the effectiveness or the open rates or that kind of thing here. So we can actually scroll, like, can you like just to like actually horizontal scroll? Can you go up a bit? So you see like up here at the top, there's more information if you scroll over is what I'm saying, right? Yeah, there we go. So you can actually see opens and clicks here. So go to the messages page and look for the messages in your campaign. These are scheduled and sent. You can also toggle to see things that have been sent or that have been scheduled that will go out. So like if you want to cancel something like a broadcast, you can do it there. And then, yeah, if you open it up, there you go. So you can see all that information there, who, like, whether or not people opened, how many people clicked, that kind of thing. So that's where you go for that information. All right, Debbie asks, when sending out an email message to opt into a campaign, how do you have them opt in? Is it a keyword reply to the email? Is it a click here button? So the keyword is only applicable for text marketing. So if it is if you've got a text campaign, then you're just going to say text this word to this number, right? But if it's an email campaign and you want them to sign themselves up for it, then you're going to want to connect it to a landing page. Okay, and can we show that really quickly? Click on landing pages, please.
And also when you said it's only for text campaigns, that's only if you have the two-way text option that they can do the text in keyword.
Correct.
Right?
Yes, that's right. All right, so let's just pick, I don't know, culinary. Why not? All right, so the way that you connect, because of course you can make your own, we've got funnel trainings on our YouTube channel, you guys. If you want to make your own landing page, super simple, edit the information to your liking, but then up here under settings, if we hit settings and we go to page settings, there is a campaign drop-down menu here, this third one where it says campaign to use, right? And this is where you pick the specific campaign. And then of course, once you save this page, you share the link to this landing page, they'll enter their name and email, it will automatically put them onto that campaign. So if you are emailing about a campaign to people who are already on your email list, but you want them to be able to receive a new class or a newsletter series or something like that without you having to manually add them, you connect it to a landing page. Excuse me. Okay, on blog posts, should we be adding a contact me or learn more button, or are blogs usually just a read and enjoy type of thing? Oh no, blogs are a powerful tool to grow your business. What I recommend putting at the end of every single blog post, aside from the also obligatory leave a comment and share this with a friend who will like it, is a link to a landing page like this. Right? So, hey, if you love this post, you'll really love this thing over here. That way you're taking casual readers and turning them into subscribers, which warms them up, right? And gets them closer to a conversation with you. So, no, a blog is a tool and it's a very powerful one. It's content, right? So if you were to Google content marketing right now, you would see that there is an absolute sea of information. But at the core of that sea of information is really just a couple of key strategies. Content marketing at its core is the creation of informational or educational or whatever kind of content, most powerfully being blogs and YouTube videos that you create that helps someone do a thing, get a thing, feel a thing, what have you. And if they like it, then you give them an opportunity to dig deeper. And that's where you want to get them onto a landing page that gets them onto a campaign. And then if they're really interested, they're going to reply to the messages in that campaign and start a conversation with you. And that's the whole point, right? We want to get as many people as possible who are as interested as possible right now to raise their hands and say, talk to me about what you have. That's all this is ever supposed to do. All right. Where do you find the pre-written campaigns? Those, Jen, were in the campaigns. If you look over, like Jess said, on the side, if it says GetOiling made it, then those are the pre-written campaigns. Yeah, right there. So you can see if you did it or if we did it. There you go. Cool. All right, Mary's, there you go, there it is. All right, Mary says, I created a landing page in kiosk mode for a vendor event. I was just using it to get names, but anyone who put their name in got 6 text messages. I wasn't aware this was going to happen. Where do I see that? I wasn't aware I had text services, and I don't see it on the landing page settings. I also don't see it on the contacts activity list. Okay, so the thing about messages showing up on the like on the messages page, and if maybe you guys, if you know about this, it's like beyond a certain amount or below a certain amount of recipients, it'll behave differently. Can one of you team please speak to that?
Yeah, with the messages, it's 5 or more will show up in this area, and then anything from like 4 or less contacts, you will have to go to their specific contact card and then click and then see under past actions.
Okay. Okay, so so basically, Mary, what you want to do is go to that landing page that you used in kiosk mode, and like Jess showed just a little bit ago, figure out what campaign is attached to it. Then go over to your campaigns menu and change the settings, or remove that campaign if you prefer there to not be a campaign. Now, the thing is, you can have text marketing like go out even if you don't have two-way texting with GetOiling. It's just going to send a sort of little caveat additional message that says you're going to have to respond back to this other number if, you know, but because you don't have your own phone number through us. So that's why someone would have received text messages, is because there is a campaign that's attached to that landing page that in its settings is set to go to text. Actually, Jess, if you could, can we go back to the campaigns page and we can examine the settings just to make sure that it's clear.
Just go to anyone?
Yeah, and anyone is fine. All right, so what you see here is, this is where you can add your, add your campaign messages. This is where you can add the dates, change the dates, what have you. But then up at the very top right, there's edit campaign details. So when we click on that, this is where we can change the preferred sending medium. You can choose to prefer email or text, or to go email or text only, or both. Okay. If you do not want to be texting at all, go email only for this specific campaign. If you want it to be text only, then go text only for this campaign, and then grab that below. If we show the keyword, there we go. There's the keyword. So you text this keyword to this number, and then you receive that series of messages. Again, if you don't want something to send, make sure it's not connected to your landing page. And also make sure, if you're going to be using a landing page in kiosk mode at a vendor event, have a campaign attached to that drips on people so that they don't forget you, right? So that they are actually going to take the next step. One of the things that, you want to talk about spending a whole lot of time on something and wondering what you got out of it. If you've done a vendor event before and just wound up with a stack of papers that you never did anything with, then you know what I'm talking about here. The idea here is you use the landing page in kiosk mode, not just to collect their names digitally, so that you might one day, like you're just replacing the legal pad here, right? That's not what we want to do. Have a campaign attached that conversationally has that person, respond to you about something substantive, about something related to what you were talking about with them at the booth, right? Have it be a thing that actually brings them back. All right. Don't understand how text in works. Can you show us? So it's kind of hard to do that because we're not on a phone here, but basically the idea is you have a phone number, right? Like you get a phone number, you sign up for GetOiling's two-way texting, and you pick out the phone number that you want, or you port over the one from another service if that's the case for you. So you have the number, you have a campaign, you create a text in keyword for this campaign right here. And then what you do is you text out, or you don't text out, or you have people text, I'm sorry. You have your phone number and you say, here's the phone number, text this keyword to this phone number. And then it's going to start delivering those messages. Right? You've probably signed up for something like this before. We actually did this, during aroma sharing and convention. We use that, especially at convention when we're live at convention. You text in for the rose oil drawing, right? So text rose to 3135 oil biz. That's actually our number, 3135 oil biz. And you get an entry to win this bottle of rose oil, right? So anyway, that's how that works. I hope that helps. Test it out. Test it out. It's great. Is it automatic? Do I have to respond on my end? So it is automatic. When you have a campaign set up to deliver and they perform an action that triggers the campaign, meaning they sign in on a landing page or they text in a code, our system then does the legwork for you. All you have to do is have a conversation with them when they respond to one of the messages. All right, Jen says, I have Grow Workspace. How do I use theirs? Really simple. You click their bundle sharing code on the Grow Workspace bundle that you have. You click the GetOiling bundle sharing code. It'll bring you over to a page that will give you directions. You click a box, you click a button, and now that campaign, that additional information, whatever all is in the bundle, is now in your GetOiling account. And then you just go retrieve that text in code, and then you say text babies to this number, and then they receive the Grow Workspace, image-based, beautiful, amazing text campaign. And they have instructions on their site as well. All right, so Melinda, you're on your site. So if you just go to getoiling.com, make sure you're on the home page. Let's show them what it looks like, if you don't mind. Just maybe in a new tab, just going to getoiling.com. All right, so if you scroll down and you keep scrolling, then you will get to partners. There it is. So right now, this is who we're working with, right? It's a number of different things. YL Customers Delight, Modern Companion, and Grow Workspace are really the main content providers. We're always looking to bring on more. If you have a content provider for another service that you use and you'd love to use it with GetOiling, please let them know, and we would love to have a conversation with them about bringing their amazing content over here for you to use. So the partners are on our homepage, getoiling.com. Okay, how do I find my GetOiling number? So Jen, if you have signed up for two-way texting, all you gotta do is click the chat button right up here in the top right of the screen. So will you click that? And it'll show you, should be right over here on the left, my number. There it is. So that's where you go to find your GetOiling phone number. Camille says, I'm not able to see my campaign text message in sent messages. I sent to 4 contacts or 14 contacts. So, Kim or Jess or Colin, can you guys chime in on how we can, because I don't know about that part.
Sure, Jessica, you have the screen share. So if you go back to that under contact settings campaigns, so the campaign messages don't show up in the sent messages. The sent messages only show your individually sent text messages or emails, or your broadcast, like your bulk text messages and emails, and saved replies. Those will go out in there too. But any of the campaign messages, you actually have to find those in people's past actions. So to go find who's on the campaign, you would go to your contact settings campaigns, and then
that's
there's
where Jess is right
there.
now.
Yep, and then that number she's hovering over there, I think that's a 4, right? On my screen, It's kind of small. So there's a 4, so there's 4 people. If she clicks on that, it'll bring up everybody's contact card. And then if she clicks on somebody's name, she can go to one of those and find past actions and see which emails have gone out. If they've clicked on the email, it'll show the open envelope. Or if it's a text message, it'll show up. So that's where you would find those messages.
Awesome. And guys, remember, if you want to see who a campaign has been sent to, if we go back one page or a couple pages, it's from your campaigns page, the number. That's the number of people who were on that campaign, and it'll bring up all of their contact cards. See the contacts? So there were 4 contacts on that campaign. So this is what you would do. Go to that campaign, click the 14. There's going to be a 14 under contacts there. You click that, it's going to show you everyone, and then you can go and look at who opened it. All right, she said, I tried to look on contacts messages sent like you suggested, but don't see that. Okay, yeah, so the clarification once again, the messages are going to reflect broadcasts and one-on-one and back and forth. and scheduled things and stuff like that, campaigns are going to show up from this campaigns dashboard here by clicking and actually going to those contacts. Because campaigns, again, like campaigns aren't something that are meant to like be a one-on-one conversation. It's meant to facilitate a separate one-on-one conversation. So really think about it a little differently than, you know, a single email that you send out, or, you know, back and forth with a prospect or a member or something like that. All right, can you go over how to use saved replies and how to create one? Yeah. Quick and easy. We do have more trainings on this on YouTube, but if you go over to contact settings, and then you go over to saved replies, you can hit create down there at the bottom, where you can copy one of ours. All right, and so what you do here with saved replies is you just treat this like any email that you would normally send. So think about the things like maybe it's a welcome email, and here's where to find all of our Facebook groups. You know, here's a welcome email, and, you know, make a, you know, call to action to hit reply and let me know the best time to meet this week, or something like that. And then once you have gotten your saved reply made, and hey guys, if you want a cheat code, if you have like branding that you're inserting into like a campaign email series, maybe this is for, you know, for like a specialty group or coaching group or something like that, and you've got branding, make a saved reply with the pretty things. And you can actually use saved replies to kind of shortcut your campaigns. Or if your campaign is going to repeat a lot of the same information, so maybe it's day one, do this thing and remember to do this thing, right? You can actually kind of create a template for yourself here for that purpose. If we can go back, Jess, please, to the saved replies menu page. And let's just do, maybe just click one of these, new business builder welcome email. Let's just check that one out here real quick. Welcome to the oiliest team. All right, perfect. So here's a link to our resource area. Here's the password. Fantastic. So the saved reply is ready. So if we go over to messages, and let's just compose a message. This is how you used your saved reply. So let's create a new message. And, you know, just select one contact. Any of them will do. Oops. All right, and then actions. And then mail one selected contact. Perfect. And then over here in the top right corner, we have saved replies. So let's get that saved reply, new business builder welcome email. There we go. Now, you might have to move it if you have a signature, because it might pop up below the signature, but there it is. And then you can either choose to schedule this. You could also choose to mail it to their downline if that's something you want to do, or you can, you know, just send it outright. So that is how you use and create a saved reply. And our content partners do have saved replies that they use as well. Like for newsletters, saved replies are perfect for newsletters. All right, Jen says, I was setting up an event yesterday and it has a default campaign listed, but when I was looking through the campaign list, I don't see one specifically labeled for events. Which one does it send? So the system default campaign is new prospects. That was the thing that we went over in the FAQ, and you can actually find the new prospects campaign and view it for yourself under the on the campaigns page. And you can obviously change that as well. Anywhere where a campaign could be added, whether it's to an event or a landing page or Vault or whatever, you can also choose the no campaign setting if you'd prefer to not have the default, or of course, if you want something that's set up to your liking, you can do that as well. We have a lot of really great in-depth training on how to use the online events, how to take your events online and using campaigns and those strategies on our YouTube channel. Just search for events on our YouTube channel and you'll find a lot of answers there. All right, Krista says, how do you recommend recording and uploading our videos for our Vault or specialty group? So it depends on what you're doing. Zoom is a really nice shortcut if you've got a solid enough internet connection. Because you do need to have a pretty solid internet connection because you're recording on the cloud, unless you are recording directly to your computer, which is another option that might work better. So basically, if you're going to be doing a screen share, you might as well just use Zoom. You could also do a talking head video and use Zoom that way as well. What I personally do, what I prefer to do, because I like the quality that it produces better, and all of our produced Vault content that's not a recorded live thing like this is something that I produce using ScreenFlow for Mac. Which is a one-time purchase software, and it'll record your screen and your face at the same time, or it'll record your face or your screen, or however you want to set it up. It's pretty simple to use. I don't know how to use it very well, but I know how to use it well enough, right? So I invested in that, and we have, we upload those produced videos or the recordings, in the case of Zoom, to our Vimeo. Set those private settings where it can only be embedded on a particular website, turn off all the engagement features, and then you have a fully protected video. All right, Tammy says, when enrolling in two-way text, do you keep your own phone number, or are we assigned a business phone number? I'm having trouble opening the documents under the modules listed as pages. Okay, so two questions. So the two-way texting, that is a new phone number, and you get to select that. So when you hit the chat button up here, if you have not signed up for it yet, it's going to walk you through how to sign up. And you actually don't even have to contact us for it. Like, you can just pick your number and you're good to go. If you need to port a number that maybe you're using on another platform for text marketing, and you want to keep that number, then you need to send us an email and we can work through that process with you. All right, and in terms of opening the documents under modules listed as pages, I think what you're referring to is maybe a inside of a member area, the pages in a member area. What I'd recommend that you do is log into your member area as a, just from a separate email address or something like that, so that you get the feel of like someone who would be visiting your member area that's not you, and verify from there that your links are working. And if they're not, please reach out. Support at GetOiling.com. You can use mine for demo. I'm not sure I understand what you are asking there, Mary. If there's something, so let me see, Mary, if you're here, pop over maybe in the chat and give me an idea of what you're referring to specifically, or actually, no, it looks like you guys maybe have been back and forth on some questions from Mary, and she was offering to have her account be used to walk through it. If you've seen it, then please let's get all up to speed. Oh, we'd be happy to use your account, but just let us know what it is that you like. What's the question? What are we needing to show? Do you guys know?
I was just having a quick chat with her. She was just offering her account, and when you were asking earlier for a demo account, she was just being an amazing customer, and I wanted to share. You're
wonderful, and thank you. Okay, we tend to use dummy accounts like this because with your account, especially if we're dealing with something that pertains to contacts, excuse me, if we're dealing with something that pertains to contacts, we want to protect the contact information of your prospects, your members, and you. All right. Cornelia asks, I have a question about the chat function in the member area. All right, so the discussion rooms. I use one vault, several chat groups. When I do that, I add different people to those chat groups, or will everybody in that vault get all the messages of all the different discussion groups? So if you can have multiple discussion rooms inside of any vault that you have, so you're not just limited to one discussion room. You can have discussion rooms that are, based around particular subjects, or maybe it's a member area for maybe your business builders, and one is compliance chat and another is promos. If they have access to the vault, they have access to everything in the vault. So keep that in mind when you're creating those resources. If you want to have separated access to different types of material, you're going to want to put those in separate vaults, and of course have the controls in place as to who gets access to your vaults. And they would get the notifications and the messages and everything, and see everything that's in that vault. All right, so Mary says, my members vault is only for members. I added them to the vault, but can you show where to get that link? So what I mentioned earlier is, and actually we can do this on this test account, Jess, if you can scroll down to member area under my site settings, and then you hit view member area up here in the top right. That's going to bring you to your member area, and you can actually look at it from that link right up there in the address bar. Copy that. That's what you send to your members. That is how they can access that. All right, so Dana says, I'm rewriting my website landing page campaign. I chose to delete the required questionnaire to get the guide, but I'd like to have a questionnaire on a different day. How do I create a new one? So you can pull in, probably if what you've done here is you've duplicated one of the GetOiling campaigns, what you may need to do is just pull in that message again from, like, because you can use a message from an existing campaign. You could do that. I don't know that that's necessarily the best move though. So the questionnaire, if you want that to be delivered on a different day, then you just change the order of the of how it sends. So if you want something to go out that does one thing on one day and another thing on another day, then just change the numbers. If we could go to the campaigns, back to the campaigns page, we'll show you what that looks like. You know, because if you want something to deliver on, you know, day 6 instead of 4, or you want to swap day 6 and 4, it's pretty simple. Let's just go to maybe one of the new prospects campaigns, or, oh yeah, this is fine. So if we want to switch up, this saves me a ton of time and paper, or, you know, let's switch 3 and 5. So, right, let's turn this one here, 3 into 5. So hit 5, and then you have to click off the screen, and then, yeah, there you go. And then you can turn that one into 3, and now they're just swapped up, and it's done. So if you want to change the order of your campaign messages, then that's what you do. All right, how do I check how many marketing credits I have? Good question. This is, if we scroll down to your account, Jess knows where to find it. All right, so yeah, that's where you find it right there. And you can also purchase more when you want. All right, so Melanie says, I think I love you all, just saying we love you too. I hit silver 3 months ago and was only 4,500 away from gold last month. Was needing some new resources to lead my team, and Grow has blown me away. A bit of content overload, but working through things, and GetOiling too. I basically got pro on all the things, buying the classes today. So do you recommend my leaders do the beginner plan with Grow Workspace? I have premium. Does that give access to my leaders with sub login? I think you actually meant GetOiling with that. So what I recommend from a getting started with GetOiling perspective is that if you have more than one serious business builder on your team, which basically means that you're probably a strong silver at that point, that's when you would want to go beyond the basic level. So basic is good for you and perfect for you if you are just getting started, or you have up to one serious business builder on your team and you're not looking to really get into a lot of the personalization and branding and customizations that GetOiling offers. You just want to kind of get started. Basic is perfect for that. And they're all like at basic and above, it's all $1 for your first month. You can upgrade easily, you can downgrade easily. Now, if you really want high functioning branding features, and also if you are leading a team and you need more leader tools, you're going to want to look at Premium or Pro. And again, $1 for your first month. If you're using someone's referral code, it's $1 for your first month, half off your second month. And then of course, you can upgrade, downgrade to your liking. In terms of Grow Workspace, I can't speak to that. All I know is their content all plugs into GetOiling, which is really, really cool. Yeah, so start with basic, get the basic things set up. If you have Go for Gold with Martha Krejci, it's gonna show you step-by-step exactly what to do, how to set up the GetOiling system along with her strategy that took her to gold in 6 months. That's what getoiling.com/go4gold, GOFOR, GOLD. All right. Oh, and in terms of the sub login on your account, I wouldn't recommend that you do that unless the person that would be getting the additional login on your account is a VA or someone who functions like an assistant for your business. So if you've got someone who manages some aspect, or they admin your member area or something like that, that's what the sub login would be. We do also have this other feature though. If you want to help someone who is just getting their toes in the water and you don't want to be like, hey, learn all this tech, we've got this really cool thing that's called a leg builder link. And Jess, if you could scroll down and show them where to find the leg builder links. Basically what you can do is let your member borrow a page from your website. Now, it's not going to have the landing pages and the campaigns and all that kind of stuff. That's still going to be yours. But if you give them one of these, you set this up, you choose the theme, which we have many and compliant across the world. You choose what you want there. You set this up. We have trainings on this. So we can't go into like the full exactly here's everything. It's pretty straightforward though. But you can basically supply them with a link that they can share. And that will link directly off to their Young Living and have people sign up directly on the Young Living website through their enroller number. All right, what's the best way to get them in? Melanie asks. Sorry if I'm not explaining, but we have 12 on our leadership team and another 40 on our business team. All right, so the best, Melanie, Ashley at GetOiling.com. Send me a message. If what you're talking about is getting people like onto GetOiling to do this with you, we will happily do a team training for your team to show them how this can work. For them, how you can use it as a team. Just shoot me an email and we can coordinate that so that you don't have to do all the heavy lifting of the explaining. Another thing that you can do is just send them to one of these weekly work sessions because we inevitably talk about things that even if you don't have our system are things that are going to be helpful for you to know and to help you grow your business. So definitely reach out. If you have a team and you want your team to have access to these tools, you want them to understand, but you don't feel equipped to do that, we are happy to give you a training. Reach out to us. Really, really happy to do that. All right. Got lots of questions. All right. So if you have another texting provider, if you love it and you're happy with what you're getting there, then, you know, obviously we're not going to tell you to leave where you're happy. However, if you find it valuable to have your text marketing and your email and your contact management and everything all under one roof, you can do everything with our system. Really, the only other thing that I personally use with this system that we don't have yet, and it's on our wish list, is calendar integration like Calendly or Schedule Once or something like that, where you can actually like have people in your funnel book a time with you without you having a separate service. So I use Calendly for that. That's it. Every other function of the business, we do host videos on Vimeo. Okay, that's the other thing. So that's two. But that's it. I mean, it's Vimeo and a calendar. And I mean, that's just because I do coaching and like sell bigger package stuff, right? You don't even need that if at this point your main, revenue production is being a distributor, like you have everything you need here. You don't need anything else. All right. And yeah, and if you wanted to make the switch and you wanted to come with us and you've been at Project Broadcast, it is possible to port that number if that's what you wanted to do. All right. I want to know if we have other goods companies rep other than Young Living. Can we link Shopify or of their websites? So if you have adjacent businesses, so one thing that our platform does not work for is e-commerce, right? So like selling, like we don't have a shopping cart feature, and that's not something that's really in the cards for us. If you're a content marketer, if you sell information, or of course you are a distributor of essential oils, we're really built for that. But if you have another business, it is possible for you absolutely to link off to that. It can be a link in your custom menu that goes off to another website. Lots of different ways you can do that. You can put links in your funnel. It would just be going to a separate site where that, where the physical goods or the, cart pages or whatever would be. There you go, right here. And so what you would do is you would just add a website link. You pop the URL in there, you choose what the label would be for it. So it could be shop or something like that. And then that could show up as a menu item on your webpage with GetOiling. All right, I've emailed to have a domain connected to my GetOiling site. How long does that generally take?
Usually takes us about 1 to 2 days to complete everything, but it does also depend on if you already own the domain versus we have to buy it. So as a general, we say 1 to 2 days to complete anything. But if this is something that's taken a little bit longer, just give us a quick email back, perhaps. We just need to get it done right away.
I'm going to jump in there real quick. I actually did a quick search on your account there, Heidi, and it looks like we did reply back to you a couple weeks ago. So our big apologies on that. And Amanda just piped in real quick. She's getting it done right now. So you should have it.
Oh, perfect.
There you go.
There it is. There it is. And guys, Amanda and Greg are actually traveling today. Wish them safe travels. That's why they're not on the call with us right now. All right. Can you explain more of the text options? Can this be a campaign? Yes. So the training that we just did today outlines how you can use text in a campaign or email in a campaign, which again is really just a scheduled, automated, preset group of messages that achieve a specific outcome, right? So the other option for text is to broadcast. So what a broadcast is, so as opposed to a single email, or as opposed to a campaign of emails, which is a set of them, or a campaign of texts, a broadcast text or a broadcast email is just a single email sent out to a lot of people. So this would be like a monthly newsletter, right? Or a weekly roundup of here's all my blog posts from this week. That's a broadcast. A campaign is something that is sort of just like a robot you dripping out information, no matter where, no matter when, no matter whom. A campaign or a broadcast, which again can be text, will go out at a set date and time, whether that's right now or at a scheduled date in the future, and it'll only happen once. Now with texting, the other thing that you can do is two other things you can do, Tina. You can actually send a text directly to a person. So maybe using a saved reply or just typing something on their contact directly, or via the chat button up at the top of the screen here, you can actually have two-way texting, which is basically you texting with them. They're getting it on their phone, but you're typing it in on your device, on your computer, and so on. And this doesn't cost you any marketing credits at all. So this is actually where you would have personal conversations with people who maybe there's a campaign that says, you know, hit reply, or in the case of text, it would say, hey, are you busy this Thursday? And they reply and say, no. And then you just go over here to this, you know, this two-way texting here to chat and say, well, hey, I'm actually having a class on XYZ. So, and then you invite them. So think about this, right? You send a broadcast message out to 400 people, right? That just says, hey, are you busy this Thursday? And then only the people who respond, right? You get into two-way texting and then you start those conversations. It's just like an immediate feedback, like, hey, who's interested in this right now? Hey, who could see this right now? And so you broadcast out to cast the net wide, and then you just catch the ones who pop up and you communicate here. So that's just another example. There's a lot of ways that you can do this. All right, Diane says, if you've chosen a custom domain already, can you change it? Yes, absolutely, reach out to us. support@getoiling.com. Tammy says, when enrolling in two-way text, do you keep your own phone number, or are we assigned a business phone number? I think that might have been a duplicate. You do get a business phone number, it's separate. All right, Holly says, so to clarify, if I want to send a Grow Workspace campaign to one or several, it has to be attached to a landing page. Just wanted to clarify because there are very limited number of landing pages with my plan. All right, so no, that's not the only way. You can manually add them, right? So you can select, let's just say you want to send, because a lot of Grow Workspace campaigns are really more for member education. So maybe you just want to select all of your members from your contact manager and then apply the campaign to them. Actually, can we show that real quick, Jess? So you're going to go to your, just go to your manage. There you go. So go to filters. And let's just do tags here. Let's search for tags, and we'll just pick one. It doesn't matter. You know, let's just pretend like this is a tag for your members, and then we're going to filter. So the green button down at the bottom. All right. So in this case, one is showing up, but in your case, there would be many. So then we're going to go to actions. All right. And then we're going to go to add campaign, follow-up plan, vault, or tags. All right. So we click that. And then under campaign, we pull the campaign that you want. Just grab the Grow Workspace one from your drop-down menu. Well, I don't think we have any Grow Workspace ones in this one. And then when you hit apply, which you don't have to do right now, when you hit apply, that is going to apply that campaign, that Grow Workspace campaign, to all of your members, right? So you filter for the people you want to send it to, you hit that actions, you select like to add this campaign, and then you hit apply. So that way you can send the emails out without having a million different landing pages. It's just something you have to do it manually. That's all. Okay. Right now I have, this is Dee's question, right now I have an Essential Oils 101 recorded workshop and capture information via registration. They get a campaign email with the link. The event is listed at the top of my event page because I have a date set to end 1 year from start date. I have multiples of that same sort of thing, which is what I would like to do. It's going to crowd out the live events and make the live events difficult to find. This is not the same question as last week with multiple dates for the same event. Got it. Okay. So this is actually Colin, this is you tagged me in this and told that this is what you received before, right? Okay, cool. I'm glad you're here and you're sharing that here, Dee. So there's an important distinction, right? And this is not something that, you know, if you're just coming into this and you're getting to know this and figure it out, I wouldn't expect you to see this distinction right away. If you have a pre-recorded class, video, bit of information that people are signing up for to receive at any time, then you need to make a funnel. And think about it like a pre-recorded webinar funnel. It's a pre-recorded class funnel. This is not something that should actually be on your events page because it's not an event actually, right? It's a recording of an event. So I would put that onto a landing page. So, you know, sign up here and you'll get the replay of this class that covers A, B, C, D, right? And then of course the campaign that follows, hey, did you watch the video? Hey, did you like the video? You know, here's some of the information we talked about. Are you ready to have a conversation? That's what that should look like. So the funnel is landing page, right? That redirects to a custom page that has that video, right? And maybe even there's a button below that video on the custom page. And guys, we've got training, like this is all in here. Actually in the 90-day challenge, it teaches you how to do that. And so we did this years ago, but also taking your events online and then using that. There's several, it's a two-part series. Actually, if we, you know what? I want to show you where this is. Jess, can you go to youtube.com/GetOiling? All right, so if we go to search and type in event. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. This is going to be more recent. All right, take your 101 class online. Perfect. So this is going to teach you everything you need to know. Hey, there's me. So yeah, this is where you want to go. Take your YL Oils 101 class online. And it's literally the same content, right? It's your 101 class. So yeah, you have the event, right? You use the GetOiling site to have the live event, but then you take the recording of the live event and then you put that on a page behind a landing page. And then you've got a campaign reminding them to watch it and then to respond to you. Excuse me. So yeah, do it that way. It's going to save you a lot of trouble, and it's going to be easier actually as well. All right. What if I am not in a position to do free stuff yet? What do I do to show my token? Amy, I'm not really sure what you mean by that. Yeah, maybe send us another question, maybe clarify. Happy to help you. All right, Jennifer, in the pre-made campaigns, do we need to modify what they'll get for free, i.e. 5 steps to in the pre-made? Do I change it to my 3 ways to? It depends on the pre-made campaign that you're working with. If it is one created by GetOiling, it delivers the stuff, like it's all done for you. You don't even have to worry about it. If you're using or editing a campaign from, from Go for Gold or from Grow Workspace or Modern Companion or YL Customer Delight, that's going to be something wholly different. Obviously, if you are going to change what you're promising, you need to change what you're delivering. So just make sure that that's congruent. But where the pre-made campaign in GetOiling is concerned, if it's offering a freebie, the freebie's already in there and there's nothing you really have to do about that at all. All right, do I still need project broadcast if I have this campaign management system? No, you don't need any separate system at all. Text and email is included here. If you have the text in or the two-way texting enabled on your account, then it's all right there. Managed from the same dashboard. All right, Kathy says, I sent a text to my entire team to remind them of the last day to get their convention ticket with what we were doing as a group for the week. One of my leaders messaged me to let me know she received 26 messages. So I sent an apology to all that I didn't think would send out so many texts. Another texted me back that she didn't receive anything. So both weren't effective. Any suggestions on this not happening in the future? So, that is odd, right? So sometimes I know, and maybe you guys can help with this as well, team. Sometimes that's on the carrier's end. Sometimes that's actually like, you know, a glitch in the system that's not necessarily on our end. It could be via the texting provider or via their provider. Yeah, so
there's
I mean,
a lot of scenarios that this could be. So if she could just email us and then we can look into her account, because I think there's like a lot of different things that could have happened, and it'd be easier for us to see her account and let her know in a reply.
Definitely. Okay, perfect. All right, so Kathy, please send us an email and we can help with that. All right, Shoshana says, this has nothing to do with campaigns, but it's an issue I'm dealing with. I sent an email, but maybe you can help me now. I'm designing my own website with Allison Marshall, one of our content partners. She says that in Pages, it shows my .com is connected to my GetOiling template site instead of my custom page, because that cannot be fixed. So if you, what would be the article, the help article? So basically what you're doing is you are going to create in your, it's on the custom menu page where you make a custom page, your home page in GetOiling. We can show you what that looks like real quick under my site settings. This was actually something Jess was showing a bit earlier. It's on under site menu. So when you hit add, you have the ability to, there's the, what does that say there? Can we pull that down? All right, there should be like a home page, right? I know this is where we need Greg. All right, so let's just say website page. Can we go back up to website?
Yeah, when they're gonna create their home under show under, oh, I see what you mean.
I think it's up at website page, what, the fourth one down? And then you see all the way down here at the bottom under options, make this the main page for my website. So make sure that you have the page. So there's a drop down menu there. So if you hit this drop down menu right here, a demo page, that one's fine. That one. This is where you take that custom page that you built with Allie's course, you select that page. So just any of this, my team is fine, just, you know, whichever one of these you want to grab. Then make this page the main page for my website. Make this the main page. Make sure that's clicked. When you hit done, that is now going to connect. So if you have a custom domain set up, right now it's going to your GetOiling homepage, which is default, whatever theme you've selected, right? But if you want a custom homepage to be, or custom page, like the one you build with Allie to be your homepage, then you got to make sure that this step is done. All right. Okay, where does the keyword get plugged in? That is under campaign settings. All right, when I look under contacts messages, the only messages that show up is the one I created for my new members and sent as an email. A default campaign went to all my members. That doesn't show. Do campaigns show and sent messages? They don't. But you can go to your campaigns page and click the number of contacts, and that's going to show you exactly who received the campaign. All right, Dana, text in option campaigns are free with a two-way chat feature. Campaigns with text cost credit. Does that sound confusing? No, no, you've got it. So campaigns don't go via two-way chat, which is the only incorrect thing here, right? So two-way chat is literally just you and one other person at a time chatting back and forth, and that costs you no marketing credits at all. Campaigns are created here on the campaign page, applied in any of the ways that we've talked about today, and those do cost marketing credits because campaigns are for marketing. All right, is text opt-in case sensitive? No, it is not. All right, can we get a customized text in number? Yes, you can. You click the chat button up at the top when you're logged into GetOiling, and you get to pick exactly what phone number you want out of what's available, of course. All right, Holly says, is there an app we can manage our dashboard? We are an app. So there is an article, if you click the help center, the little question mark down there, where you can actually learn how to put a link, what do you call it, like an icon to go straight to your dashboard from, there it is, adding icon to my phone from the homepage. So if you do that, we're gonna feel just like an app because we actually are an app, we're just in a browser. All right, I don't think my question is coming through. When enrolling in two-way text, do you keep your own phone number or are we assigned a business phone number? You are assigned a business phone number. And that is the number that people will see when you are texting or sending campaigns via text. Number two, having,
I'm going to stop screen share and then I'll pull up mine. I don't have a texting number and we can just kind of walk them through how that will look.
Okay, perfect. That's a great idea.
I'll go right back with the screen share.
Okay, awesome. All right, having trouble opening the documents under the modules listed as pages. So Tammy, if what you're talking about is inside of a member area and you're talking about pages in a member area, so it might be a start here page or a resources page or something like that. I'm not sure what the issue would be with opening it, but I would first try to access your member area as a member would, not from your dashboard, but view your member area and then see if you can click those links. And if there's something wrong and that's not working, then definitely reach out and we can resolve whatever that is. If what you're talking about where documents are concerned is that maybe you have uploaded documents like maybe homework in an online class or something like that, you may want to try re-uploading whatever that file might be. If that is in fact the link that you're talking about that you're having trouble with. All right, so Jess is showing what it looks like to set up the two-way texting. So you're gonna get this notification, text message chat requires that you have your own phone number. Do you wanna learn more? All right, there you go. It's gonna take you here where you're gonna learn more and get started. Then you can
literally choose all of your own numbers. Like I want 701 for my area code because that's North Dakota. And let's say I want 45 and 68 in there. And then you hit show. And it will literally say, these are the numbers that are available.
And you can also, there are ways to do this search, and we have other videos on this, where if you wanted to include like words and stuff like that, you can do that as well. Awesome, thank you. All right, so Robin says, I have some text campaigns. What is the deal with editing and how that affects when the text will send out? It seems to delay it. For example, I have a text scheduled for today, but I thought of something, so I edited it first, and then it doesn't go out until tomorrow. So your text campaigns, or any campaigns that you have, unless you have specified a specific time that you want it sent, that's different from the default, which is it's like 5 or 6 p.m. Central Time US, then it's going to send at that time, email or text. That's the way that those go out. Now you can, in your campaign settings, change things up. If you want to send a rapid text campaign, that's under campaign settings. And then what you would do there is space it out to where they maybe receive a text a minute or a text immediately and then 4 texts a minute later or something like that. So if you want it to go out today, then it needs to be day 0. That is immediate send. So if you're talking about scheduling something that's supposed to go out today, then you might be talking about a broadcast, which is a different conversation entirely. And when you have a broadcast scheduled, you can choose to send immediately, right? That's something that you can send right away and you don't have to wait for it. All right. So Tina asks, to text in, we need to sign up for two-way texting. Yes. Yes, if you want to have the text in codes and to be able to chat back and forth, I mean, you can use text marketing with us without having that. Like it uses marketing credits, but you don't have a way to communicate back and forth. So the two-way texting is what you want to have for that. Melissa, what about Oil Revolution Designs? We would love to have them as content partners, and we have conversations open. Obviously, these things do take some time, but if you want to let them know that, you know, you'd love to have them with us, we would love to have them. All right, Christy says, I have some people saying they aren't receiving my emails. Are the emails coming from my email address or the GetOiling mail server? So this is going to depend on whether or not you have a custom email address. If you do have a custom email address, so yourname@yourname.com or something like that, then it's going to send differently than if you are using Gmail or something like that. Because what happens is you are sent via our mail server on behalf of your email address. But what you want to make sure you do, and this is you know, just general best practices for email marketing, is you want to, as much as possible, use like a thank you page. If someone signs up on a landing page, use a thank you page that, or a pop-up on our landing pages that says, add my email address to your contacts right now, or you might not get what I'm sending you, or make sure you check your junk email inbox to make sure you get what I'm sending you. And then of course, you know, if you're talking about specific contacts, just go verify that you've got their correct information. It could be that they opted in on a landing page and they mistyped their email address. It could certainly be that as well. All right, can you review the digital upline coach? How do I get my team into this so that we can do it all together? Am I correct that we can track each other's progress and create incentives for completing tasks? Just not sure I understand how this works. And do they need to pay to participate? All right, so really brief, the digital upline coach, if we could go over to the dashboard, Jess, and pull up the coach screen, if it's is it enabled on? Yeah, there we go. Click on the sassy little unicorn there. All right, so the digital upline coach, you guys, is an invention that I was really excited about. We put this together a couple years ago. It's based on really the premise that not all of our activities in our business are created equal, and that we should focus on the higher value ones, the IPAs, the big uppercase IPAs producing income producing activities. And so basically what you do with the digital upline coach is you record the specific activities that you're taking, like that you're doing, right? So you are texting a prospect to invite them to a presentation, right? Or you're emailing or you're calling or whatever. You don't have to do exactly what the coach says each day. These are all suggested tasks. But basically what you're able to do is as you record this information. So let's just say, for instance, I called a prospect to invite them to a presentation. This is under this week's coaching. So there's a second one under this week's coaching. So what it's recommending is that you do this 10 times this week. If you have, and I think this one, since 126 points, I think that this is a high level commitment of hours, like maybe 20, 25 hours, 30 hours that you want to spend on your business this week. Then what you're going to want to do is make sure that you call 10 people to invite them to review information this week. And so when you've done that once, you're going to get 5 points. So let's click did it. And then you're going to choose the contact that this applies to, which will also update your contact, which is really cool. So maybe just type in my name. I know I'm in here. Or Greg. Yeah. There we go. Either one. They're both me. All right. So they called me, right? And then that's the activity. Those are the activity points. If you hit finish, the page is going to refresh and it's going to show that you are 4% toward your goal this week. And of course that activity is logged. You go do it again, it moves it over. All right, so I think if we scroll down, all the way down, yeah, my progress this week. So you're able to see your progress this week. And if you connect your coach to an accountability partner or to multiples, right? So if you're at basic, you can connect one other person. Upline, downline, sideline, doesn't matter. They just have to have a GetOiling account, right? But then if you have them, then you can actually see like pie charts and graphs of like, this is the percentage of the type of activity being done. So you can actually see who in your business, if they're tracking their activity using their coach, you can see who's doing the work, right? Because a lot of people like to, you know, be the squeaky wheel, right? But they don't actually like to do the work, right? So you can actually see who is doing the work, being diligent, and then you can be a more effective leader by acknowledging them and recognizing them. And then of course, if somebody is just like, oh, you know, this isn't working for me, nothing works, blah, 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 then you go and you look at their coaching activity and you're like, well, I mean, how many people have you invited this week? And they can tell you because it's here, which is really cool. So that's an overview of the digital upline coach. But to get your team to do this, can we go up to sharing? It's, yeah, all the way up, yeah. So sharing is right here above the progress bar on the right-hand side. Yeah, there it is. All right, so when we click that, then you can connect with someone else who has a GetOiling account, and you can share these things together, okay? You have unlimited connections. If you are at premium and up, you have one connection at basic. So you've got that team leader tool there for you. Now, if you want to create incentives and use this to track activity on your team, that's what it's made for. So your teammates would have to have a GetOiling account at basic or above. And of course, you can just share your link with them and have them get their GetOiling site for $1 for their first month and run that challenge. And if you've got a big team and you want like a training on how to do this and like you guys running a challenge together using the coach, oh my gosh, by all means, please reach out to us. We will facilitate that training. All right. Melanie says, I'm currently paying Zoom $54 a month. Now that I have a pro account with GetOiling, is it the same? Meaning, can I cancel my account with Zoom, all the same features? All right. So Melanie, don't know how big of, of meetings you're having or what the features are that you're using with Zoom. What you're able to do with us on Zoom, it's actually shown on our homepage, like, so meeting capacity, that kind of thing. You can, and actually maybe even under Zoom meetings, you can see how many people can be on, right? Is that right? I don't know. Yeah, here we go. Your plan allows up to this many attendees and you can upgrade from more. Now, understand that Zoom does have one feature that we don't currently have automatically showing up in our system, and that's webinars. So what we are on right now, you're on this live call, this is a webinar where, we've got Q&A, we control like, whose faces show up, that kind of thing. A meeting is a meeting where everybody shows up and has the ability to talk. You do have the ability as the host to, have host controls, but it behaves just a bit differently than a webinar. So if webinars are something that you're using, then sure, that you might want to keep Zoom. But if you're not using webinars and you have a GetOiling plan that accommodates the maximum number of people you would have on a meeting, then yeah, you don't need Zoom anymore because, you've got it with us. All right, is there a limit to how many leg builder links I can create? That's a good question. I'm not sure that I don't know. Do you guys know the answer to that question? I don't know. This may be a Greg question. I wonder is it on our homepage? Here, let me see.
There is a limit. So if you can go on to like the getoiling.com/pricing, you'll see it there. I believe.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, and if you go to see where if leg builder links is on there. Yep, there we go. So you have up to 10 at basic, and then they're unlimited at premium and above. All right. Oh, Tammy, what you're saying is it's from the Go for Gold modules when viewing the campaign. Okay, so you're talking about downloadables inside of an online course, and the file type is called pages. All right, so you're talking about Go for Gold right now, but inside of Go for Gold, anywhere you see pages linked, Pages is a word processor on Mac computers. And if you can't open that, it's probably because you don't have a Mac. But in that same box, what you're going to find is you're probably going to find that same document in Microsoft Word. So open that one instead. That would be the reason why you can't. So I'm thinking pages like web pages. No, you're talking about an actual document, probably Map Your Message or something like that. That is a file type. So if you don't have a Mac, then don't open the Pages link. Okay, Cornelia, I was thinking to use the chat function in a members area similar to Facebook, posting class. I can schedule it, which is perfect with the time zones. Have you done that before? What do you think about that? So you're talking about scheduling posts to go live and basically have it be kind of like a Facebook class. I would actually recommend on our site, because people don't go to member areas to like just hang out, like people just hang out on Facebook. It's a little different, right? I actually think that would be better suited as a text campaign, potentially, or as a video or something like that. But I could be wrong. Why not give it a try, right? I mean, this isn't your members area. It's your members. So like, why not provide those multiple means of doing that? You can give it a shot. I think it might be more work than it's worth to do it that way, when you could just, send a text campaign or an email campaign with the same information. You do the same amount of kind of hyping up to it and getting people excited about it. And then of course you just go through that sharing of information in one of those ways. All right, are the marketing credits use it or lose it? To a point. We have a rollover of up to 2 months. And you can see that, Jess showed that just a little bit ago. All right, members area you just showed. Can you explain the difference between that and the classes in the vault? Not sure I understand. And how is that different from the digital upline coach for my leaders? All right, so these are all different things, actually. So the digital upline coach lives in your dashboard and it's connected to your contact manager, which means that, I mean, any function, anything that you're doing, any action you're performing in your business is fundamentally going to be tied to another human that you are either maintaining a relationship with because they're your member, or you are nurturing a relationship with because they're a lead, right? Every single action you take is connected to a person. So your digital upline coach just basically shows you how valuable your activities are that you're performing when they are connected to your contacts, which is the most valuable activities. Like if journaling is something that you did today, great, but that has nothing to do with a contact, right? But anyway, the point here is you're able to simultaneously maintain and keep updated your contact manager and move your contacts toward buying or toward essential rewards or what have you, or just maintenance. And that's all recorded here, right? And then of course, what you're able to see if you have linked accounts with a digital upline coach is that you are performing this percentage of this type of activity or this many of this type of activity this week. And then your team is doing these things, or your accountability partner is doing these things. So you're actually, this is the specific accountability that takes the odds of reaching your goals from 0 to 60 to 95. Like when you have specific accountability appointments, if somebody is seeing that you are doing a specific kind of work and you said, I'm going to do this, they can see whether or not you're doing it. That's the kind of accountability that gets results, right? So, so that's kind of the whole point of this. Now, classes, vault, like, all right, classes in the YL verse is a really, really big word, okay? Classes can mean a whole lot of things to a lot of different people. Classes can be sharing posts and pictures on Instagram or on Facebook or via text or email or on a Zoom in a live event, in a recorded event, but it can also be literally curriculum, online classes, which is something that's in your member area here. A lot of different ways you can use that. Lots. If you go to getoiling.com/member training, that is going to show you, and you don't have to be a GetOiling member to access this. It's going to break down the whole mechanism of the member area, give you examples of what a member area looks like, how you interact with it in different ways that you can use it. The sky's the limit. If you are a health coach and you have a program that you charge for, people can pay to get access to that group coaching program or to that online class or however you want to have it structured. Or you can simply have a private area that's not policed by Facebook that you can share your oily information, your builder information in, that's protected and only for your people, or some kind of cool thing for leads. So that's the difference. Like the member area is really, it's whatever you want it to be. And that's the difference between the vault and the digital upline coach. People have to have a GetOiling membership to have an account with us, to have a digital upline coach. Anyone could be in your member area that you give access to. So if you have a class or a program or something like that for your people, they'll be able to access your member area regardless of whether they have an account with us. All right, Have the Pro, bought it last week. Awesome, nice to meet you. Excited to have you here. All right, Mary says, how do I set up a signature like John L in your demo? This is my site settings, right? Or is it contact settings? You guys know this better than me.
I should unmute myself when I'm talking. That might be helpful. It would be under my site, and I believe it's under settings.
General settings?
Oh, yes.
Well, actually, no. So you were just under, so go to campaign settings. I just saw it. Yes. All right, scroll down to general settings, and there's your signature. Yeah. All right. So if you don't have two-way texting, what number do folks text the text in word to? Well, they wouldn't be able to do that, actually. So you would be able to apply a campaign to them via text, or if you had a landing page that required a phone number and also sent via text, then they could get it that way. But for them to be able to text in a code, you're going to need to have two-way texting with us. Okay, Melanie says, I also have Kajabi. Seems like this platform can replace that one as well. Yes, yes, it can. 100% yes, it can. We do everything they do and more at a fraction of the price even. All right, Anne says, I already have a website and we'll be starting GetOiling too. Will GetOiling be part of my existing website, or will my existing website be part of GetOiling? I own the domain. So it depends on how you use your existing website. You have a lot of options here. You can direct a subdomain. So if you're, yourname.com, you want to keep that homepage, you want that to be what it is, you want to keep it for its purposes, then you could have an oils.whatever.com, and that can be what goes to GetOiling. Just an example. It really just kind of depends on your intended use. You could also have, like we showed earlier, you have the ability to add a link to your menu page, whether that be on your existing website or on your GetOiling website, that points to the other spot on your domain where that existing site is. Lots of different ways. Having a website domain you could have 100 different websites on a website domain, a million different websites on a website domain if you got the right hosting. So yeah, there's a way to do it. Just depends on what you want. All right. Limited number of landing pages though, so can't make many of these. Yeah, so depending on your plan, you may have different limited options for landing pages. If your aim, for example, since we're talking about campaigns today, is simply to get out the Grow Workspace bundle information out to your people. Obviously, texting campaigns, get two-way texting, have text in for that. That's going to be fabulous. But if you aren't able to upload or to upgrade to get more landing pages, then what you do is you create a generic, like, this is my this is my newsletter landing page. Like you're going to receive a new class from me every month, and then you just apply that campaign every month, like the new campaign every month, to the people who signed up on the newsletter landing page. All right, Casey says, I feel like much of this is way over my head. Where can I go to start from the very beginning? Yeah, so welcome, Casey. Last week, we actually did a sort of orientation with GetOiling. It's our most recent YouTube video, the one right before this one. Highly recommend that you head over to our YouTube channel, pick one thing, and then just go one at a time. That's really going to be the best way. Now, you may notice we're going on 2 hours now. A lot of our videos are very long, but most of the training is right at the beginning, about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and that's it. So what I recommend that you do is first honor the fact that that no one comes into this as an expert, and you have to learn something at some point, and these are valuable things to learn. So so pick one thing and learn it. So learn how to create a saved reply so that it's easy for you every time you would be repeating yourself with the same information to just grab down and then send out an email. Learn that first. Learn how to upload from the VO. Actually, the best thing you can do, don't even go to YouTube yet. You see this little teal bar right up here at the top, GetOiling setup progress? Watch the very quick and easy to follow videos there, because that's going to show you, kind of orient you with the system and give you specific steps to follow. Another thing you can do if you want to start from the beginning is sign up or re-sign up for the Destined for Diamond emails. That is a sequence that's going to teach you and give you specific steps to follow to help you get oriented with the system and make sure everything's working the way you want. And the way that you do that is if we go all the way down to the bottom of the screen here, maybe not the whole bottom, sorry, to go to settings under my account, and then scroll down to Destined for Diamond right there. And that's a 30-day email sequence. What it's going to do is send you an email that teaches you a thing. And then the next day, it's going to send you an email to show you how to do a thing. And then it skips a day so that you can go do the thing. And then that cycle repeats. So it's kind of taking things one step at a time. So setup progress, destined for diamond. And then one more thing, caveat, if you have go for gold, do nothing but follow the steps and go for gold and implement exactly what it says to do in the order that it says to do it, because that'll give you everything that you need. You don't need a second or third or fourth set of information. In fact, you don't even need to come to these calls. Like, follow the steps and go for gold, follow them to the letter. If you get stuck, then come to us and let's work through that together. But if you have that, you have the blueprint. So that's the order of things. If you have go for gold, just do that, right? Otherwise, use the setup progress bar and use destined for diamond. All right, Bertha says, I bought my own domain and want to see how to use it for my GetOiling account. How do I add or replace it? Send us an email, support@getoiling.com, and we can get that connected up for you. Would this replace my Oily Tools app? No. No, Oily Tools is, it's integrated with the VO. So it has forecasting and that kind of informational stuff that, I mean, you have to have a, you know, kind of like a corporate level agreement with GetOiling corporate to get. We don't have that. So no, Oily Tools is a great app for you to use. It's not going to do what we do, right? But especially as a leader, like if this is like, it's an important business tool for you. So no, this doesn't do what that does. All right, so Mary says, when you put the 101 class recording on the landing page, do you have it show up in the drop-down menu on the main page, or how do people, okay. So let's see. These are the steps you're gonna follow, Mary, okay? First, you're going to take the recording and you're going to put it on a custom page. Really important, this goes on a custom page. And that is under My Site Settings, Custom Pages. And it's actually really simple. Let's just create a new one here real quick. Just a blank one. All right, so we're gonna add a section. Just hit the little plus, there we go. So go over to, actually, you know what? Hold on. We're gonna make this even easier for you, Mary. Go back, let's go back over to the menu and pages. Let's create a new page and we're gonna use a template. All right, professional services. All right, you're gonna delete all the other sections on this page except for this one. You don't have to do this right now, just for the sake of time. But here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna keep this section. We're gonna delete this image right here. And let's put our cursor right back there. Right there is fine. All right, so up here on the menu bar, do you see the video? Insert video. This is where you're going to take the URL. So this is YouTube or Vimeo. You're going to take the URL for your video. Love that you're doing this right now. And then you're going to paste it in there and you're going to insert it. There you go. You're going to change the, you're going to change this to whatever you want it to say, right? And here's a quick trick, okay? You want to have a call to action here, say, you know, love what you saw, can't wait to talk with you, click the button below and let's get in touch, right? And then what you're going to do, you see where this says schedule a free consultation? So click on that and this little menu pops up, edit that. Instead of saying hashtag lead, put hashtag contact. All right, so we update that. Let's just go ahead and save this and view it. Just call it my page is fine, whatever you need to do. All right, save and view it. So this is what the page is going to be that people go to see your video, right? To see the recording. You put whatever additional information here you want, however you want that to look, all right? Now, when you create your landing page that tells people to register to watch this pre-recorded training, this is the link right up here in this bar up here, this right there. That's the link that you're going to redirect to from your landing page. Of course, you're going to attach your campaign and all that kind of stuff that we've talked about, but this is where the video goes, all right? And they're going to get to it because your landing page is going to redirect them over to this page so they can watch the video. And check it out, click the schedule a free consultation. When you do the hashtag contact on a button, it pops up your contact form. Voila. Nothing complicated about that at all. All right, so that's what that looks like. So when you And then, of course, if you wanted to have a menu item for a pre-recorded class, you would take the landing page link and then put that into your custom menu, you know, on like a learn section or something like that. All right, how do you connect the YL blog post, blog, so it shows as a blog post? This is actually quite easy. If we go over to settings under blog, you can, let's see, I think it's here. Oh yeah, here we go. Automatically show posts from another blog. This is already set up. So this is what you want to do. Automatically show blog posts from another blog, and then you put that in. Now, this is actually something, if you do this GetOiling setup progress, it actually shows you how to do this. So it'll walk you through the steps. If you go to that teal bar, you'd be surprised at how many things you might not have done already. All right. Talita says, I just got on, I have the membership, still can't figure it out. All right, so there is a replay. There will be a replay of this. We'll send it out to you. Keep an eye on your email. And remember, youtube.com/GetOiling. And then, of course, this little question mark right down here at the bottom, you can ask it anything. And you're going to find a lot of the answers you're looking for. Definitely make sure that you consult this progress bar up top. That's going to show you how to set up your system. It'll direct you and provide you context. And then, of course, importantly, if you have Go for Gold, literally just do exactly what Go for Gold says to do. All right. I have a team member with a question on two-way texting. Is there a limit to the number of texts? So two-way texting, like the chat feature, there's no limit. So if you are in this chat field here, you can back and forth forever. There is no limit on what you send there, okay? But with broadcast messages and campaigns, it's not a limit per se. You just have, you have a certain amount of marketing credits for your account based on your account level. You can add more if you run out, so as to supplement when you need to be able to send those additional messages out. All right. Melanie says, I need a place to keep track of all my products I buy, all the oils, the supplements, all the things. Do you have an area that I can download my orders and then track them and then mark off what I'm out of? We have 6 Gym Living accounts. Oh my goodness. That's not something we're built for, but I recommend spreadsheets. maybe spreadsheets for that. And that may be, yeah, I don't know. We don't connect with the VO that way. You can download your contacts file from the VO and import that here, but that's the extent of integration with your VO that we have capability of with GetOiling. And oh my God, good luck. I'm sorry. That sounds really complicated. All right, Beth says, I'm having trouble launching a campaign. I copied a preloaded one and was going to send, but don't know how. So Beth, you're just gonna wanna go back over the steps that we followed in the training at the beginning of this video. Shows you all the different ways that you can send a campaign out, whether having people sign up for it themselves or for you to apply it. You can actually see the walkthrough of that. All right, I have Gold program. I'll message Martha today. Didn't get to it on the last time. I'm not sure, and I don't have your name, so I'm sorry I can't address you directly, but we are able to support you in anything that has to do with the GetOiling system directly. If you're working with one of our content partners and have questions about their specific programs and things that you've purchased from them, that's something that you're going to want to take to them. So in that case, I would definitely reach out to her. And then of course, if you have Go for Gold, I believe that's what you're talking about, you can definitely post questions in the student group as well. It's a very helpful group, and the units section in there is a really great place to check as well. All right, you guys, that may be a record for questions. Maybe a record for questions and maybe also a record for time. I love how, you know, the times that we're in right now have brought us together such that we stick around for this long hanging out every day, every Thursday. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being a part of this community. And guys, we're just so happy to have you here and to help serve your business. So definitely keep coming back, show us your work. Great job on your progress, and we'll see you next week.